Aha!
You are listening to the New Holstein Sports Podcast, a.k.a. The Pod. We are coming to you from The Closet, where we discuss Husky sports and the biggest topics in the sports world. Our presenting sponsor is the Holy Land Bakery. If life gives you a legendary pie, there is a 100% chance it came from the Holy Land Bakery.
This starts now.
Porzingis. Pod going up on a Tuesday.
Welcome, Pod fam. This is the Pod Squad. Today we'll bring you to do our best knowledge regarding circulating topics in the sports world. I'm the hype man.
I'm the brain.
I'm the enthusiast, and this is
the Pod. Well, I've shoveled so much snow today, I don't know where to begin, but we're going to talk about some Huskies basketball, boys that is. We'll dabble a little bit in the NFL, some NCAA football, got more bowls coming up, and some NCAA basketball. And also, we haven't talked about him for a while, Kristaps Porzingis, folks.
Hey, and don't forget our special guest here behind me, Nathan Hansen.
Yep, welcome to the show.
Stevens Point broadcasting legend.
Yep, that is true. Appreciate it. All right, well, I think we're going to start off with some Huskies basketball. You could say a big game tonight against North Fond du Lac. North Fond du Lac hasn't won a game on the season. Is that right, Colin?
Yes, they are 0-5.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, just trying to get a game over Christmas break, I think, Coach Hirth. And I think it'll be a good matchup for them just to get one in and keep playing basketball. Brady?
Yeah, I think tonight is us getting back on that winning track again, like when we started off with Howard's Grove. Tonight, it's probably not going to be as hard as Howard's Grove, but less of the matter that shouldn't be taken lightly. Let's get the job done, get the W, and move on to next game.
Yeah, it's important that we have this game, too, so we don't get rusty, over Christmas break. A lot of things to be doing, a lot of late nights, maybe, per se. So, it's good to get back in the basketball rhythm for the boys.
Well said.
Wow. Feels different here without
folks. Let me just tell you here, we're without our facilitator, the life
facilitator,
coach, the life coach.
No, it is the life coach. Not the facilitator. Someone else.
Okay, well, essentially, he moves us on from topic to topic in here, and we're a little late to the show. One could say, for some reason, they decided to lock the doors on us when there's a basketball game in approximately an hour and a half. Don't ask me why they did that, but we're here now, and
I barely made it here. Some roads don't get plowed, but it is what it is.
And remember, we have to go through a maze to get here, so...
Yeah, basically 2 mazes today with all the darn snow that fell.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
It's ridiculous.
About 6 to 8 inches.
Yeah.
Pod fam, activate.
Well, New Holstein right now in conference is 1-3. They are currently 5th in conference. So, yes, it is early, and they got a lot of ground to make up. But the teams they've lost to before, I just think it was from those bad second halves. If anyone else
not shooting the ball well, particularly in those second halves. Especially against Valders. Valders a great defensive team and can shoot the ball very well, and Holstein was struggling to score against them. And, they're rough start in the conference, but this EWC, with the new adjustments that they made, new teams coming in, it's a very tough basketball conference.
Very tough basketball conference. You got Falls, Valders, sectional finals last year. Roncalli, again, lost to Valders. And just... overall, great basketball teams. Brilliant, Two Rivers. It's a tough conference for sure. Yeah, and Colin, like you hit up on before, Valders, their post presence, isn't as strong as one would hope, but they shoot lights out. That's their staple. And for tonight, what I really want to know is if Carson Hoyce will be in the starting lineup again. Even though, it's North Fondy, non-conference game, not as good of a team, I still want to know if Coach Hirth is going to be playing the same way as he would as a conference game
like strategy-wise, playing as best men.
Yeah, I think it depends on the matchup that they have. Like, if they're a post-heavy team or a good shooting team, depending on who he puts out there. So, like, for instance, he might start the taller guys like Berg or Byrne, instead of Hoyce because of the tall players, maybe. So, I think it depends on the matchup that they have.
If only Scott Nye was here, he'd give us some layout about North Fondy. He broadcasts those games.
Yeah,
so
he's a little delayed from the weather. But
and the in-laws.
Yeah, and the in-laws. But North Fond du Lac, on the other hand, they obviously haven't won a game, I should say. And all of their games, really, they've lost by a good margin of points. Except for the last one against Laconia, losing 52-64. So realistically, you'd like to say it'd be a walk in the park tonight, but let's just say you don't want to underestimate anybody at this point.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Now, if the Huskies can't shoot the ball in the second half, like they have been in the last couple games, that could also be a factor, and maybe North Fond du Lac sneaks one by tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Either tonight, I hope this don't get taken the wrong way, but this year the Huskies, it seems to me, the boys basketball team's a little inconsistent.
I have to agree.
One night they'll go from shooting great, and then the other night they'll go from shooting poorly. So they got to find that happy medium where they don't have to counterbalance that, and they can be efficient. So we'll see tonight if they can shoot well. That way, the next game can turn out like that too. Therefore, they can start being consistent in winning games.
Yeah, I think if the key for them tonight is if they shoot well and they win the boards, they should come away with the W.
Yeah, I also think, the scoring drought has really, the first half's been fine. Almost all their games. And then the second half, just in a couple, they go on that scoring drought, and it's just hard for them to come back. And that's reality, I guess. But the next upcoming games for New Holstein, they got Two Rivers on Tuesday, January 5th, and they got a week break after that, going to Roncalli on Tuesday, January 12th. So two big games. Roncalli, a powerhouse team in the EWC. Two Rivers, not too shabby otherwise, and
fair assessment. I think looking at the EWC as we were before, it looks as if Chilton is like the only legitimate weak team, and maybe they might bounce back, maybe they might not.
Yeah, but you never know. They can shoot the ball, and when they're making their shots, hey, they can probably beat the best team out there. Yep.
One thing that you guys miss is that they play Sheboygan Falls in the same week that they play Roncalli. So those are very two tough teams. So it's good that they get that week break in before those two tough games, so they get a lot of time to prepare for those games.
Yep, good point.
Also, St. Mary Springs in the schedule. That's always an exciting game to watch.
Yeah, well,
maybe a bit of a rivalry. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Springs beat North Fondy, by the way.
Yeah, 79-59. So, we'll see tonight. It's really going to show. And we'll try to get Coach Hirth. I know we were going to try to get him on today, but for sure in the next couple of weeks, just see how the Huskies are doing and just find out about that team.
Get his input. Because we think we may know everything, but
we don't. We don't fact check, by the way.
We never do.
No. All right. Well, should we move on to NFL?
Yes, we'll swing right into the NFL, and Nathan can chirp in if he wants.
Yeah, just feel free to chime in whenever you want.
Right, this is probably more my specialty anyway.
Good. So we're gonna start off by hitting the NFL playoff picture, and I don't know if anyone checks their media or watches football, but yesterday, it's already guaranteed the 6 in the playoff picture for the NFC. Correct?
Yes. Now they just have to figure out the seating and everything.
Yes.
I think the most likely change that could happen is the Packers and the Vikings, Week 17.
And the Seahawks might slide.
Yes. Maybe.
Wow.
Probably. They have the Cardinals, I believe. So
yeah.
That's a tough test for them.
Yeah, Arizona could still win the number 1 seed, too.
Yes, they can if Carolina loses to Tampa Bay after, Falcons took it to them.
Hey, before we finish talking here, I just want to remind everyone that after we're done talking about the NFL, we're going to make our Super Bowl predictions. All right? I want 2 teams.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember a couple weeks ago when I said I'd pick the Steelers, and, they lost.
I changed
to
my
Ravens.
mind. Yeah, I changed my mind, so we're gonna have to do that over.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, the Packers, on the other hand, coming off a god-awful loss to the Arizona
Just
Cardinals.
embarrassing.
Honestly, it's a waste of a conversation.
Yeah. I think we need to talk about it, though. We need to give our
It needs to
input.
be talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
we are the cheeseheads here.
The
Right.
Cardinals played very good defense, don't get me wrong, going after Aaron Rodgers the whole night.
Banged up offensive line for the Packers.
9 sacks for the Cardinals, folks, by the way, and 2 turnovers, which were converted into touchdowns.
Yeah, I had Arizona defense on my fantasy team. 33 points for them.
Yeah, just
Wow.
Ridiculous.
No, folks. I don't know if this is just me, but every time there's a flag thrown in the backfield, when the Packers are on offense, I
Holding.
automatically holding,
All day.
all day.
I want everyone to chime in here on this, and what do we think of the Redskins?
I think, they've been playing very good lately. I think they've been on a winning streak. I'm not really sure, but we don't fact check, so that doesn't matter if it's true or not. But they controlled their own destiny, and they took the NFC East.
Yes. Yep.
East.
Yep,
Okay.
the East,
The NFC East
The
for
East.
themselves. So, they got a home playoff game, and I think they're a legitimate team to consider. I don't consider them a Super Bowl contender, but I think
That's fair.
they could win a playoff game.
But yeah, you never know.
Hansen, chime in on that one.
The DC Grudens, is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I think Kirk Cousins played really well the second half of the season. He has the highest completion rate in the NFL right now, and he's rolling. He's got that defense is mediocre, but they're playing well. I don't foresee them. I think it would be a really interesting matchup if the Packers do end up playing them, because the Redskins don't really know what to expect from them, and the Packers are they've been struggling the past few weeks, obviously, and it's interesting. I think if they face any other team in the playoffs besides the Packers, I don't think they have a chance. I think their best chance would be against the Packers, honestly.
So, the Vikings beat the Giants the other night, and the Seahawks lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
Who do you think has a better potential of making it farther for a wild card, Vikings or Seahawks? Intake.
I think you gotta go Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson's got that team rolling.
More
I mean,
experience.
it was an off week for them this week, I think. I mean, the Rams, I don't know what it is, but they play extremely well within their division for some reason.
Yeah.
Awful when they're not in the division. And
I have to agree with that.
It was raining, so, that's a little bit of a factor, I think. And I think without Marshawn Lynch, that team's not very good without any running game.
Seattle should be used to that rain, though. They
That's
play there
true.
all the time.
True.
All right,
It's birds.
so now swing into the AFC. Arguably, in my mind, the wild card, the Chiefs and the Jets, I think will even pose a huge threat to the AFC.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make my bold prediction here. I think the New York Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Darn it, I was going to say that.
Hey, you need to save that for
my
later.
God.
Darn it, I was going to
That was just a spoiler. A quick spoiler.
Okay.
Fitzy, baby, Fitzy. And
He shaved the beard.
yeah,
he
you
shaved
better
the
make sure he
beard.
doesn't
Trim.
grow that beard again.
huge debate, though, folks, about that if they wanted a kick or not. So Bill Belichick said that he wanted a kick. Now, the ref, or the umpire, whatever, he did not clearly ask if he wanted to receive or kick the ball. The ref said, "Where do you want to kick the ball?" So what happens? Does this topic get taken further to Commissioner Roger Goodell or no?
See, it was a leading question, like you said, Brady. That was a leading question, but I think because Belichick said he wanted to kick it no matter what, I don't think it does. But if Belichick said, yeah, we wanted to receive, and he messed that up, then we have a really big problem on our hands.
Yeah, that was wow. You know why? Here's an interesting question too. Why do you win the coin toss in overtime? And yes, Bill Belichick said his defense was playing really good in the fourth quarter, but why in the world do you kick the ball? Like, I know that if they kick a field goal, that the next team, you get a chance to possess the ball, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if they score a touchdown, it's over. So why would you just get the ball and score? You know? Why?
You should never kick in overtime.
Yeah, why?
Never.
The only time you want to defend in overtime is in college football, not
True.
pro football.
True.
Yeah. We might have to get Bill Belichick on to get his input. Bill, if you're listening, you can come on the pod.
I'll tell you what. This is what he'll say. We're on to next week. That's all he'll give us probably.
Another one.
Another one.
All right.
What's up?
All right. Should we make these bold?
Can I talk about the Colts?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Just
yes.
because, I don't know why, but
Why?
I think it's funny because
they
they need to
still have
have
a
10
chance.
things to happen for them to make
Yeah,
the playoffs.
I
I think
read
that's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They still have a chance. Their odds are like 3,300 to 1. That's the chance they have to make the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that's less than 1%.
It's possible.
Maybe less than 100%.
Yeah, it looks like Big Ben. You know, it don't look like they're gonna squeeze.
Yeah. What has to happen to the Steelers to make the playoffs? Does anybody know?
I think the Jets have to lose and the Steelers have to win.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Did the Jets beat, or did the Steelers beat the Jets earlier this year?
Who do the Jets play next week?
Because they might go
Jets
head
play
to head.
Buffalo. It's the Rex Ryan and the Jets matchup.
I hope Buffalo.
Oh, green
the
and
Rex
red.
Ryan Bowl.
It's in one of my games to watch, even though it really doesn't could
Buffalo-
potentially not mean anything.
Buffalo's got nothing really to play for, so
Yeah.
I really hope they try hard and.
But they want to try to beat Rex Ryan's former team.
Exactly. Yeah.
And somehow Rex Ryan always with his season finales always pulls off something spectacular. It's
Good.
ridiculous.
I hope that happens.
I do too. I don't know the 10 things that the Colts actually have to have happen to actually make the playoffs, but I know one involves the Saints losing. And I don't really know how. I don't know how to make the connection. The Saints are in the NFC. The Colts are in the AFC. How? Just how?
Couldn't tell you.
Why?
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, the Colts are probably not going to make the playoffs, is what I'm getting at.
I hope they do though, just because all
I
that
know.
stuff.
Against
That would
all
be crazy.
odds, Colts
There
with
you
a
go.
third-string quarterback. No one even knows who his name is.
Just signed Josh Freeman today. Maybe they'll throw Josh Freeman out there over clipboard Jesus and Charlie Whitehurst.
Gotta kick off the
folks,
dust with
let
him.
me just remind you, he was saying names there that I have never heard in my life.
Oh, here we go.
Just like Brady did last week.
Actually, I do have the list of 10 things that need to happen.
Oh,
Would you like me to list them?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I would love it.
Okay, the Broncos have to beat the Bengals, which they did. Colts have to win. The Steelers have to win. The Broncos have to win Week 17. The Falcons have to beat the Saints. Don't know why. The Bills have to beat the Jets. The Jaguars have to beat the Texans. The Dolphins have to beat the Patriots. The Ravens have to beat the Bengals. And the Raiders have to beat the Chiefs.
This is possible. This is
But it's
possible.
the Chiefs. They're streaking right now. How are they gonna
the
lose?
Ravens beating the Bengals, don't see that happening.
They beat the Steelers. The
Hey.
Steelers beat the Bengals.
You know what I hope happens is that NFC matchup is the only game that really screws them over for some reason. I hope that's what happens.
I'm with Colin here. I don't understand why the NFC applies to the AFC. I can't even come up with a reason why, but for some reason,
Unbeknownst to us, I don't know.
All right, that's all I got for the playoffs.
So now should we hit our Super Bowl predictions?
Sure.
Hansen starts.
Let's go. Let's start with the NFC. I think it was clear last week to all of us. I think it's the Arizona Cardinals. They have the best defense in the league. They've outscored the most opponents in the league. They have the most points throughout the league throughout the year. And hey, tell you what, if they make it to the Super Bowl, CJ2K is coming back. Chris Johnson is going to make his
The legend
return
himself.
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's the only way he can come back. But they played well. I mean, that team actually got after the quarterback without blitzing, which is something that they haven't done all year. They've had to blitz to get to the quarterback. Last week against the Packers, they haven't had to do that. And they lost Tyrann Mathieu, but you could not even tell last week that he was not on the field. So that's probably going to be my NFC pick. And unfortunately, I don't want to say it, but I think the Patriots are going to win the AFC.
Ooh,
Exactly. Just because the Bengals and Broncos have backup quarterbacks in there right now, and Tom Brady's going to get lucky. They've had a lot of injuries throughout the year, but I think they're going to be that team in the
bold
AFC.
prediction here. AJ McCarron wins a playoff game before Andy Dalton does.
Ooh.
Whoa. Wow. That could happen. Boo.
It's gonna happen.
Who wins that matchup, Hansen? Who wins that?
Ooh, the Cardinals all the way.
All right. You got it, Con.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Carson
Dominant-
Palmer for MVP, by the way.
Yeah, easily.
Same.
Cam Newton, get out of there. Carson Palmer easily the MVP. Yeah, anyway, Cardinals definitely best team in the NFC right now. Carolina does not have the strength of the schedule that the Arizona Cardinals have had. Arizona Cardinals on a 9-game winning streak, I believe. we don't fact check, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, so Cardinals, and then, like I said earlier, the New York Jets.
Wow.
Brandon Marshall and Fitzpatrick.
Wow.
They're going to Super Bowl 50.
Who wins?
The Cardinals.
Gosh.
Duh.
I hope we're not all the same again. Brady, who you got?
Man, this stinks, but I'm same with Colin. I'm going Cards because that defense, honestly, just remarkable. And how about Johnson, number 32 on the Cardinals, just trucking the Packers.
He's number 31.
Oh, 31. My bad. And then on the Jets, Fitzy, I think, he's going to get it done. I mean, it really was hard for me between the Chiefs and the Jets, but I just honestly think the next best team in the AFC is the Patriots, and the only team that can honestly beat them is the Jets. So I'm going Cardinals, Jets, Cardinals.
Do you think there's a chance that we could see a Jets and Chiefs AFC championship game?
I think it could happen.
That'd be wild.
That would be crazy.
That'd be
What if they play in the
wild.
wild card round though already, or?
Well,
No, they play a top seed, and then another team plays up.
Oh, yes,
so
yes,
potentially
yes.
it's possible if they both win. But
Yes, true.
all right.
I'd like to see that.
All right. Well, folks, I'm going to pull a bold move here. Of course, they proved it last week. I'm going to have to go with the Cardinals in the NFC.
Not the Packers? Don't want to be the homer?
No, I'm not going with the Packers. They can. I mean, yes, I hope they go, but it's just, at this point, I don't think it's going to happen. Cardinals proved themselves last week. Carson Palmer, like you said, hopefully wins the MVP. But this is really where I take a curveball here. I'm gonna go with I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm gonna have to go with the Steelers. I just think
You think they're going to make the playoffs?
I just think
first
they're
they gotta
gonna
make
make
the
the
playoffs,
playoffs,
right?
and they're a dangerous team.
I agree.
True.
Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, just a duo.
Dude, they might not even get in.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm just going with bold move. It's a bold move,
Bold. That is very bold.
but I'm just gonna do it.
How old is Ben Roethlisberger?
I don't know. He's pretty old.
Guy's a tank.
Old
though.
enough.
Oh yeah. Well, now we got Steelers Cardinals in the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's a rematch
Oh,
from
God.
2007.
It is.
isn't
Remind
it?
me.
Yes.
Yes, that was
Yes,
great.
that was
Antonio
a great
Holmes.
game. I have
tiptoe in the end zone.
I have
Antonio
the-
Holmes.
I have the Larry Fitzgerald jersey from the Super Bowl.
Ah, yes. Well, in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna take. I just want to say the Steelers, just because, but
He's a Steelers fan, and for all of you pod fam out there,
I'm gonna say the Cardinals. All right, the St. Louis Cardinals.
it's a good choice.
The St. Louis Cardinals. Just kidding. The Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, I'm going with them.
Wrong
they're
sport,
just,
man.
They're too dominant. Yeah, we don't fact check, by the way, and whatever comes out comes out. So
We can't take back what we said.
yeah, St. Louis Cardinals.
All right.
I was reading this. Now, it's possible that the Packers could play the Seahawks in the playoffs. First game in the playoffs. Who do you think wins that? Because the Packers always seem to play the Seahawks in the playoffs. It just seems it always happens. They played week 2, I think, of this season.
They did win that.
Packers
and
won.
That's when the Packers were actually they knew what to do with themselves.
Well, that's when teams didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, now the other teams have proved that you can't just have Aaron Rodgers and win. You have to have more than that.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that Aaron Rodgers is not good anymore.
Yeah.
It just means that teams are figuring him out.
Right.
Yeah.
And Colin, very good point, because I think
The
you're right.
brain.
More teams are starting to figure him out. And, our chemistry is just not there. Routes wise, it seems like our offense is off.
Yeah.
I agree that Jordy Nelson loss proved to be bigger than what everyone would hope it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
What were we talking about? Oh, Packers
forgot.
Seahawks in the playoffs.
there we go.
Well, yeah, I think that's really interesting because personally watching the game last week, I wasn't too upset that the Packers lost. I was upset in the way they lost.
I knew they were going to lose, but
right,
not that
I was
way.
playing for loss. Also, I would rather play those Redskins in the playoffs than the Seahawks, just because I am absolutely sick of playing the Seahawks,
Yes.
no matter what time of year it is.
Yes.
And there's always potential for us to lose that game.
Realistically, we're just gonna get
They have good pass rushers, which is scary because the Packers' offensive
I
line
can't
is
say
not
it.
good.
Oh, you can't say it?
I can't say it.
Oh, you don't want to get
Is there-
fired.
I'll get fired if I say it.
Okay.
I'll get
Okay, well,
fired.
Very, very good. You held yourself there.
Yep, you tell us later.
Yeah,
after the
I'll tell
pod.
you later. All right. Well, are we done talking about the National Football League?
Yes, now we're hitting
Sure.
the college football.
Yeah, the college football. The Alabama, if you folks remember.
The Roll
Tide.
We love
hates
the
it. He
Tide,
hates it.
right, Skylar?
We hate the Tide.
Oh, there it is. All right, so what bowl were we going to hit? We were going to hit the Russell Athletic Bowl, North Carolina versus Baylor. Who y'all got?
I like North Carolina.
Baylor.
Heels.
Tough one because
I think Baylor's on their 5th quarterback, aren't they?
they're on their 4th
Yeah,
and
4th.
Chris Johnson.
Right.
And, the offense is still high-powered with Shock Linwood.
True.
But the defense, Sean Oakman, you think they'd take over, but that defense is just lacking. And I just feel like North Carolina's the more complete team, but sadly, I think that Baylor's played better teams this year, and I'm gonna go with Baylor.
Yeah. Good choice. That's on tonight, by the way, folks, if you didn't know.
Ooh.
If you're an
I
avid
got something to
sports
watch.
fan. Yeah, you gotta watch.
Also, a Big Ten play in the
Stop.
basketball.
What? We're not there yet.
Don't get fired.
Don't jump ahead.
Yeah, don't jump ahead. Easy.
All right, Peach Bowl, Houston, Florida State.
Oh boy.
Still,
The Chick-fil-A. Let's go Houston and the Cougars.
Gary Ward Jr., folks.
Yep.
I don't want to get yelled at by the hype man again, so I'm not going to
What?
comment.
What game?
The brain.
Wait, what game are we talking about now?
Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Houston, Florida State.
Where is this on my screen?
You gotta keep scrolling, buddy. December
Why are we talking
31st.
about these games?
We already talked about the Russell Athletic Bowl. I'm just going off the agenda, man.
We didn't talk about the Advocare
don't have
V100
to.
Texas Bowl.
Those teams are irrelevant.
Wait, what was that? Could you state
Yeah,
that name again?
LSU is just not going the way they wanted to, and Texas Tech can't find a way to win a game.
So we're talking about this, or no?
no,
just
we
talking
already
about
talked.
this
Hey,
one
just
right
look
here.
at the agenda.
Yeah, there you go.
I got it.
Oh goodness.
Okay,
Houston,
You good?
W. Houston, W.
H-Town.
Florida State.
I'm going Florida State. Dalvin Cook, he'll get it done.
Realistically, I don't even think I would watch this game.
Oh,
Wow.
there it is.
Come on now.
Right
Come
there.
on.
All right, what's the next one?
Citrus Bowl, B-Dub Citrus Bowl,
Oh boy.
which is Michigan and Florida. Hit it.
Big Ten football. Michigan.
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 I'm gonna go with Michigan. Jake Rudock. I just feel in Jabril Peppers, both sides of the ball. I think they'll get it done versus Florida, who has an arguably very poor offense. Just can't find ways to score at all. Their defense is definitely in top 10 in the country, but their offense, just ever since the loss of Will Greer due to PEDs, their offense is just not good at all, so I don't think they'll win. Go Michigan.
All right. The Alamo Bowl, Oregon versus TCU.
I got TCU, Trevon Boykin. He's back. He'll beat Vernon Adams.
Go Ducks.
I think this is the best bowl game that's not one of the
College football playoff.
New Year's
yes,
6.
Yes, one is not one of the New Year's 6. I think it's really strange because both these teams are pretty much similar. I mean, they're both high-powered offenses, not very good defenses. I would say TCU's is a little better. But yeah, I mean, if Vernon Adams is healthy for all year, they might be in one of those Final Four spots. But I think TCU will pull it out.
Yeah, I feel like
TCU.
Oregon came out of nowhere, too, at the end of the season. They
Yeah,
just
beating
started winning
Stanford.
games, beating
Yeah.
good teams.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with TCU here. Why not? Just why not? Why not?
All right.
There's really nothing else, I guess. Any other balls we want to talk about?
Ball? Did you say balls or bowls?
No, I said bowls.
Did we already talk about the Sugar Bowl? No.
Did we?
Did we talk about the
bowls?
And the
New Year's
Rose
6?
Bowl?
Oh, yeah, we talked
even
about
talk about those.
we talked about
yeah.
those on
Yeah.
for all you folks listening to our somewhat mundane cast today.
Yeah.
If you listen to our earlier ones, we talked about those bowl games already, so you got our...
Yeah.
I'll just give you my prediction right now. I think Oklahoma's going to win it all. I'll just tell you that right now.
Alright.
I think Michigan State.
You remember that.
All right, I'll remember that.
Yep.
Well, folks, if you didn't get a chance to catch our last couple of pods, we've done 3 of them so far. Make sure to check them out on the Google Drive. The link is on the Twitter page.
At the NH Pod.
Yep. At the NH Pod.
We'll get the IG account rolling, don't you worry.
Yeah.
We got a new poster today. Baylor basketball.
Yeah, we got a new poster. For some reason, Baylor basketball 2016. We love Baylor.
Yeah, don't forget about him. Don't forget about him.
Yeah. All right.
I think we're talking about some bowl outcomes. We only have one on the agenda, which was Navy and Pitt. Only because I wanted to talk about Keenan Reynolds.
Keenan Reynolds. Legend.
Ridiculous athlete, that man.
Yeah.
Broke the FBS record for touchdowns and for rushing yards by a quarterback in that bowl game. And I have a quote. I was reading an article earlier. It says, at one point in the third quarter, Reynolds led both teams in passing, rushing, and receiving. I don't know how that's possible.
He did it.
How?
He led Navy at the end of the game, too. It was all Navy. He led them in receiving, passing, and rushing.
Is he a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a running back?
He's definitely going to be drafted, folks, because he's going to be drafted as an athlete, not to a specific position, because if he can do that, I mean...
Yeah.
There you go.
Just like Denard Robinson.
True.
In Jacksonville.
But he really isn't panning out.
If I'm not correct, you really don't see that often players coming out of like Navy and Army. I really can't remember any, to be honest.
No, this might give the I don't know what
program good recruiting.
Yeah, good recruiting. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we touched up on that, so I want to go off topic here now that Hansen's in here. I want his idea on this. We talked about in our last pod, like the Heisman and the Naismith and those awards, how they're people voted.
Yep.
Should there be in the upcoming years a point in the college football playoff committee? There's 12 people, and they all sit down and vote every week on their rankings, and then once it comes to the end of the year, they vote on bowls. Should that be the same for awards? Hansen.
Absolutely. I think the fans have way too much power when it comes to voting. Probably not just even in college football, but even in the All-Star games, whether it be for NFL or NBA or whatnot. But yeah, you get all those Alabama fans just because they're such a powerhouse school, and I think that's why Derrick Henry got all those votes, even though I think Christian McCaffrey had the better year, and I think not a lot of people saw Christian McCaffrey play, so that really hurt his exposure.
And I think I might have hit this on the last episode, but it's really hard for you to pick up Christian McCaffrey when he's playing in the West Coast, because a lot of the games they play in the West Coast, everyone in Central Time or the East Coast is sleeping.
Yep.
Because they're played at 10 o'clock our time.
Very good.
And then Derrick Henry, Alabama, they're on CBS almost every week, and CBS is locally televised, so it's easy to watch his game over McCaffrey, so you can see him shining as McCaffrey, not even though McCaffrey broke Barry Sanders' record.
Yeah, very good point, Brady. I'd like to also touch on that. Realistically, I didn't know about McCaffrey until the last game of the season.
Boy. Same here.
Yeah. So. And then I looked at his stats. I'm like, my goodness, this fella's a good one. So yeah.
This fella's a good one.
Yeah. Quote. That's a quote going on the board.
Quote that.
All right.
In case you didn't get that reference, we were thinking about making a quote board in which we, put all of our famed quotes.
Yeah. Dabble in the dab.
Dabble in the dab.
Yeah.
Tank from Rice Lake, facilitator, all those good ones.
The Alabama.
Most Porzingis fans per capita.
Yeah, just all
Pandemonium.
Pandemonium.
All right, so now we're going to swing into a topic that we might be hitting almost every week now, because it just boggles our mind of many.
Yeah.
The Wisconsin Badgers basketball team. All right, so last week, Wednesday, they played UWGV, and as Peter Hoffmeister quoted, GB will take down Wisconsin. Well, folks, it almost just happened. I mean, the Badgers just looking good for, the first half, and then coming into the second half, the first 4 minutes, just looking like, hey, Greg Gard, I like what you're doing there, and I like that this team is ready for some change to get even better, going up 30 points. But then it gets to a point with 2 minutes left in the game, and we're up by 3 points. Now, how in the world does that happen? We had 26 turnovers, folks. 26 turnovers.
And that's how it happens.
And it really upsets me, because most of the turnovers were by our leader, Bronson Koenig, who poorly performed. Thank goodness we had a guard come off the bench by the name of Jordan Smith.
Jordan Hill.
Jordan Hill. He came off the bench and put up 11 points. Very huge.
I like Jordan Hill because Greg Gard.
Go. I'm just.
What Greg Gard did is he went deeper into the Wisconsin bench, but he played almost the same players that Bo Ryan played. But what was the difference is that he played them for longer. So like they were getting like 20 minutes per game, which is good experience for the young guys. And I think the young guys were playing well, especially Jordan Hill.
I kind of like how Greg Gard goes deeper in the bench, bringing players out and that necessarily wouldn't come out before. And I just like that, and I think that leads into the swing offense. How he's also bringing that back. Kind of,
we're back.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched that game Wednesday, but the broadcasters made sure to pull out Bo Ryan's little booklet of the swing offense. That pink little booklet that was made back in like the 90s or the 80s. Like that thing is old. Yeah. That's older than all of us sitting in the room.
It's an antique.
Yeah, and as Colin and Skylar said before, and this is not chirping hard on Bo, but Bo this year liked to play with 7 guys, and that was Iverson and Thomas. And Gard the other night, he gave Illikainen and Hill a chance, and I like that because earlier in the year before the season started, I read so many things on how Hill's gonna step up this year, and his play is well noticed. And once we got into the season, he didn't really get to see much floor, so I was I didn't know what to think of him. And then he played the other night, and I was like, this is what they had to be talking about. And I hope he can keep that up because I think his minutes will go up as well as Illikainen's. So I'm as like those guys said, we give him more experience for the years to come.
Yeah, I don't think the Badgers will be necessarily the greatest team this year. Definitely not comparable to the last 2 years. But I think, in the years to come, they're going to be a great team.
Yeah, and, it's going to be interesting, like Colin wanted to start talking about before, is that they're going to start a Big Ten play tonight. And,
against Purdue.
Yeah, against Purdue. And it's really going to, 14th, I think they are ranked. Purdue.
Yeah,
Purdue's 14th.
It's not going to be an easy.
Yeah, that's at 6 o'clock, folks. So right after this.
I'm going to be watching it while I'm announcing the boys' games.
Oh,
Sorry, boys.
No, it's fine. Well, they're really going to have to prove something tonight if they can compete with these Big Ten teams because they are some really good Big Ten teams, and realistically, if they can't beat those teams, I don't see them going far at all this season.
Yes, I have a stat here. Purdue is ranked number 1 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. I have no idea how that is calculated or what that even means, but what I can take from that is that they're good at defense. All right?
Yeah.
And the Badgers have been struggling shooting the ball this year. I read that they're shooting 40% from the field.
Which isn't terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's not as good as... You can't beat Big Ten teams when you're shooting like that.
Especially with... we have a lot of talent this year, but a lot of inexperience. So last year the boys team could get away with shooting 40%. This year, it's just not the case. We have to shoot a lot better, and I think the keys for tonight, as much as I've ripped on Nigel Hayes in the past, how he's, inconsistent, he's our guy. Like, he's the man. His shooting may not be as great as it was last year, but the way he can score, it's pretty. And I think we need to get Ethan Happ the ball more tonight, and we need to get open looks from Vito Brown and Bronson Koenig, because too many times this year, Bronson Koenig is trying to create his own shot. I think what we need to do is this is my opinion. You guys can elaborate on this.
Keep going. Trust me. Keep going.
I think Zach Showalter should be our number 1 and Bronson Koenig should be our 2. Because I think Bronson can score better than Showalter. No offense. So I think because when you're the 1, your main position is to bring the ball up and construct the offense. I think that Bronson Koenig that limits his opportunity to shoot, which that's what he's known for, is his shooting. And Showalter, he's more of a driver more than Bronson is, in my opinion. So I think you switch those two, I think they'll up Bronson's offense. That's just my opinion. I don't know what the rest think about that.
I think if you switch those two, you get Bronson more opportunities, and I think more opportunities will come with the swing offense. There will be a lot more movement than there have been in the years past. Like last year, I think they didn't really need to move the ball around that much because they had people like Frank the Tank and Sam Decker who were basically just beasts
Yeah, I think you talk about Zach Showalter. I think he's the guy that really needs to step up. He needs to really prove what he is. I mean, we're not really sure what he is. They talk about him being the best athlete on the team even last year, and that just kind of looks like that's just what he is. It just looks like he's an athlete out there sometimes. Right. I mean, he's not doing a whole lot of great defending like Josh Gosser was. He's not doing a lot of great scoring like Kaminsky or Sam Decker were, and he's not going to break guys' ankles all the time. And he's just a fundamental guy, but I think he needs to really prove himself on one end of the floor, whether it be offense or defense, because if you add him into the mix with Koenig and Nigel Hayes, that's not quite a big three. It's probably more like of a good three, average size three. A mini three, a formidable three for per se. So I think that's good enough for the Badgers right now. They don't have a whole lot right now, just with everybody leaving. But I think Zach Showalter is the guy that needs to prove what he is.
Hansen, thank you for bringing up about Josh Gosser. Folks, you know, when we talk about the Badgers the last 2 years, you talk about Sam Decker, Trayvon Jackson, Nigel Hayes, Frank, but you never hit Josh Gosser, and you never really realize how much his play affects the team until you hit this year. Arguably, and I think Bo Ryan's almost quoted this, but arguably one of the best defenders he's coached in Josh Gosser. You know, the man didn't put up 20 points a game, but he did the little things. He played great defense. He rebounded. He hit the threes when it mattered. And honestly, right now, the Badgers are looking for a guard that can play defense, and they can't find one.
Yeah, well, Gosser usually covered basically the best player on the opposite side of the ball, and that really proved to be why the Badgers could score and, you know, defend well on the other team, because Gosser was always on that best player.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. There weren't too many college basketball games in the last week due to Christmas break and all, but I don't know if anyone watched Saturday, Louisville take on Kentucky.
Did not catch that one.
Watched parts of it. It was a good one.
Well, here we go, folks. Louisville comes into Kentucky, and, you know, it's not very easy to win at Rupp Arena. Let me get you that straight. And Louisville almost did it. And Kentucky was up 10 points on and off. They'd be up 10, and then they'd be up 2. Louisville had a lead right before half, and, folks, I honestly think that, you know, I talked about how I think Louisville is my underdog team, and I'm going to still stick with it because they almost took down Kentucky. And the play of Damian Lee, 27 points, just huge. But on Kentucky, no one could stop Tyler Ulis. That was huge there. So,
yeah.
And the coming off the bench of Dominique Hawkins.
Folks, I'd like to talk about the game after Badgers-Purdue. Michigan State, Iowa.
I think that's going to be a great game.
Oh, that'll be a good game because
it's at Iowa. And now this is interesting. On ESPN, I'm on the app. Yep, we
are actually fact checking this one.
Yeah, for some reason we're doing this.
Don't say
we're
now.
Going out of the context here, but Iowa is favored by 2.5 points.
probably because of Denzel Valentine.
Yes,
That's exactly why.
Mm-hmm. Now that's interesting. You know, I think Iowa has a great opportunity tonight, and they could pull out the W.
Yeah, because of Jared Utoff. As folks don't know, Jared Utoff,
he's a legend.
He was
And he's not
a
poking
Wisconsin
guys in the
commit.
eye. Yeah.
He was for Wisconsin, then he decided to transfer, and, you know, the man can score. He can score quickly, too. Earlier this year, Iowa went to Iowa State. They ended up losing, by the way, blowing a 20-point lead. But Jared Utoff put up 33 points, and 31 of them were in the first half, folks.
Wow.
So
Can we make game predictions on the 2 Big Ten games?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, I can start since I brought it up. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Purdue over Wisconsin because I don't think Wisconsin's found their rhythm or their happy medium on the shooting, and Purdue's just great on the defensive side. And I'm gonna go with Iowa. Gonna shock the Big Ten tonight.
Shock the nation.
Shock the nation. With the upset over Michigan State, number 1 in the nation.
Hansen, who you got?
I think Purdue probably by 20 over the Badgers because they got that 7-footer inside. AJ Hammonds, I think his name is.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a
And
monster.
then they got a big recruit of the name of Caleb Swanigan.
Yes, sir. And so I think they roll over the Badgers. But that Michigan State game is going to be really interesting. I think I think Michigan State almost lost their previous game because Denzel Valentine was out.
To Oakland.
Yes.
To
I think they'll pull
Oakland.
this one out, though. I think they'll pull this one out.
All right. Brady, who you got? Brady? Nope.
I'm going with Iowa, folks. I mean, the other night, Bryn Forbes, he lit up a show, but, that's pretty much it. Him and Aaron Harris were the only ones that contributed, and I think Iowa is more of a complete team when it comes to scoring. So I think Peter Jock, Clemens, Utah, Woodbury, Gazelle, those guys, I think they're going to take down the Spartans. And I'm a huge Badger fan, folks, and normally I'd probably pick Purdue, but I'm going with Wisconsin. I don't think this season's over. I'm not going to give up on them. I think it can happen tonight. It's at the Kohl Center.
Yeah, why not?
I know the Kohl Center hasn't worked out in our favor this year, but I just think, we had some time. We had almost a week to reflect on our game versus Green Bay, and I think there's things we can correct, and I think with that win against Syracuse, I think we can win tonight. I'm going with Bucky.
We can also polish out the swing offense, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
One question. Do you guys think they make the tournament, actually?
I think they make the tournament.
If they
I think they do.
If they prove themselves in Big Ten play, then yes. If they lose to like Purdue, Maryland, who else? Michigan State.
Yeah, the Big Ten's great.
I don't think so. I
They
don't
only have
think
3 ranked teams in the Big Ten, but
the Big Ten
I think
stuff.
every
they're top-
team except Rutgers has a winning
wait,
record.
Wait.
Decent.
You said
Decent.
3 teams, is that correct?
Uh-oh.
So we got Michigan State.
Brady's checking those facts.
He's fact checking.
Purdue and
Yeah.
Maryland. Michigan State, Purdue, and Maryland, I believe.
Well,
are the
folks,
only
I
ranked.
think...
Hold on. When Brady's researching, I want to make my prediction for tonight.
Go for it.
So
Do it.
in the first game, I think the Badgers can make their shots. They contain the big man, the 7-footer in the middle. They make their shots. It is at the Kohl Center. The Kohl Center needs to be loud. Tonight, Purdue's gonna win on a buzzer beater.
Yeah,
right?
Skylar, I was gonna quick help you out. I forgot to say this, but
Yeah.
let me remind you, folks. Purdue plays with about 10 to 11 guys, so I just that might wear out the Badgers, and they're all very talented and they work together well. Except against Butler.
Yeah, I got Purdue at the buzzer. I just went all off there about how the Badgers are at home, but no, Purdue at the buzzer. Dagger.
Dagger.
Fair enough.
And the next game, I just, it is at Iowa. And that place is going to be rocking too. And,
And you are a
we
State
love
fan.
It. We love it. I am a Michigan State fan, but tonight I'm going to have to go with Iowa. Utah's going to shoot the lights out, and, Iowa.
All right, folks. So I pulled up the Big Ten here. We got Illinois. Sorry, Illinois. I don't really think you'll be ranked this year. Indiana. I'm sorry to say
Right
this
on
as
the
well.
dinner
You
table.
don't really have big man presence. All you do is shoot. And, you're not winning the games you need to win to get ranked. Iowa, I think Iowa honestly has a chance to be ranked. Maryland, they're ranked. Michigan, struggling right now, but the play of Robinson, 22, and Levert, I think Michigan might have a shot at being ranked. It's a long stretch because their big man play is weak as well, but, you never know.
One thing to note about Michigan, too, they've scored over 100 points in 2 of their games this year. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Michigan State, they're number 1 in the land. Minnesota, I don't see them being ranked. Nebraska,
Garbage.
I don't see them being ranked. Northwestern, I don't either. Ohio State, they did beat Kentucky. So they're an iffy team if they will be ranked or not.
Brady.
I don't know if they will. It could happen. I'm not going to say it won't, though.
Brady, when did they beat Kentucky? I missed this.
They did beat Kentucky. Hold it on.
Was this
I believe
recent?
Ulyss-
in the
Ulyss
recent
was hurt in that
news?
game.
Ulyss was hurt in that game.
That's fine.
It was a
not a good
Champions
excuse.
Classic, I think it was called. They beat number 4 Kentucky 74-67.
Well, okay. Well, I thought OSU was just terrible because when I watched them, they were just
They're not
awful.
great.
Well,
Not great.
is it because you hate OSU?
No.
Okay.
No. They were just
State.
bad. They were just bad, and I was like, wow.
I think that was a little quick Big Ten roast session right there.
Yeah. Well, okay.
And then
Wow.
so Penn State. they're if I don't think so. Purdue, yes. Rutgers, and Wisconsin, we'll never know. I mean, I think there's a chance it could happen, but there's no guarantees.
No.
So,
Of course, yeah.
but talking about conference-wise, if I'm looking at conferences, I'm thinking the top 3 conferences in the land right now got to be between the Big East, the ACC, and it's hard, folks, because I'm torn between the Pac-12 and the Big 12. Arizona, Cal, Oregon, UCLA, Utah, or Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Iowa State, Baylor. It's too hard to pick.
I don't know. Hansen, I want to get your opinion on Marquette basketball real quick.
Yes, we want to hear.
Tell me about that.
They're the best basketball team in Wisconsin right now.
Wow, that's true.
fair.
You can't say that too often.
That is definitely fair to say.
I think Wally Ellenson's legit.
Wally or his brother?
Who's his brother?
Henry.
Did I say
The tank
Wally?
from Rice Lake.
You said Wally.
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah, but Wally does play on the team, folks, by the way.
Yeah, that's Henry, sorry. And I think Dwayne Wilson, he's been solid. He's been average. He's been better than average, actually, I should say. And I think they have potential. That Big East, they're looking good. They're looking pretty good right now. I think their true test will be if they play Butler this year. I like
Luke Fisher.
Great. Yeah, Luke Fisher also. Finally a presence down low for the best.
Sandy Cohen.
Sandy Cohen, finally playing well,
Yeah.
Right on.
All right.
So
they might surprise a few teams.
I think we
Are we moving on?
pretty much hit everything we could in college basketball, folks. So now, Sky Jordan, the brain, hit it.
Kristaps Porzingis, legend.
How's he been?
Let me. If I'm correct, last night in my fantasy basketball, Porzingis I think he had like 78 points.
Yeah, you beat me last week.
Yeah. Folks, I'm currently 4-0 right now.
Yeah, I didn't check it all week, though. I have like 5 guys that are injured.
Yeah, look out for Tip Dunks Porzingis, the name of my fantasy basketball team.
3-6 Latvia, I think they call him.
Yeah, is that what?
Yeah, they call him.
Wow.
3-6 Latvia.
Okay,
Yep.
I've never heard of that.
Yep.
Never heard it.
Wow.
I have. So
You heard it here, folks, first.
You heard it right here on the pod.
Remember, if you hear anything, it's from here.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm just gonna
go ahead.
I'm just gonna get to the stats here.
Yeah. Give me something.
Last game on Sunday against the Celtics, he had 16 points, 12 rebounds, double-double. Just a tank. He kind of seems to go every other game. What it looks like he went his last 5 games. Sorry, he went 10 points, 9 points, 23, 9, 16. So it seems that if he goes every other game where he has a great performance.
Yeah,
Colin, good stats, man.
That's why he's the brain. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just still a solid player though, and I really think later in the year and definitely next year he's gonna be a great player. And
The brain.
It's gonna be interesting actually because I could for some reason. Never mind. That would have been. Well,
don't get fired.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, yep.
Just say
No,
it.
hey,
Scott Jordan, I want to quick ask you something. I know in the first episode you talked about Melo being junk and garbage. But
Melo.
lately, looking at Melo's numbers, I think he's proving
Guys.
you wrong.
Guys,
I think he
guys.
listened to this podcast and he's like, I'm not going to listen to that.
He was getting a little fired, I think.
And now I think he's turning out, even though he's old.
Yeah, Melo called me up after that pod. He talked to me about it. No, Melo.
Well, he did.
He's been getting lucky. All right. He's gonna go. He's gonna go on a drought. He's gonna stop scoring.
He's probably gonna hurt himself.
He's probably gonna get injured.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I don't want it to happen to him. He's great. He's a great.
You guys
guy,
got more to
but-
say about Porzingis? Because I got to ask Hansen a question.
Go. Well,
Ready.
Yeah.
I think we're.
Hey, if
you
you're
can
not
come
done,
back.
keep going.
No,
He's a legend. He's just a
actually,
legend.
what I was gonna say before. Now, for some reason, I'm thinking this: the Knicks could trade for Porzingis and get some big name players. Think about it. I don't know
think
why.
they could do that right now?
No. Next year.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know why they would do it, but realistically, why not? Why not?
Yeah. It doesn't seem that Porzingis has been making a really significant impact on the Knicks.
Yeah.
The last couple weeks.
I mean, he is still a good player, but
he's a consistently good player, but
They're still the Knicks.
they are still the Knicks.
thank you.
Plenty of people invest into the New York Knicks basketball.
The New York Knickerbockers, as they call them. All right, ask your question.
All
now.
right, going off the grid here, Hansen, Bucks basketball. What do you got to say?
Yeah, what do you think?
Milwaukee. I'm a little Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in them.
Not on the rise right now.
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Mm-mm.
But coming into the year, I thought they'd be the 4 seed. This was also
You and
the year
Cheeks.
they won 15 games. I also thought they would be the 6 seed. So, I mean, I've been wrong before about the Bucks, but they're so inconsistent. They're the most inconsistent team in the league. I mean, they beat the Warriors. You could probably thank Boston the night before going into overtime against them.
Yeah.
So there's that. But they did play well at Golden State. But then
They blew that one.
But then they drop a game to the Lakers. I mean, come on.
That is sad.
There's guys that still don't know their roles on this team. I think Michael Carter-Williams doesn't really know what his role is. I think Chris Middleton's kind of being held back a little bit. And now OJ Mayo's in there, and
Yeah,
he's
get Chris Middleton
inconsistent.
going.
He's always been inconsistent.
They got Bayless
Hansen,
back.
how do you
They
He's
got-
feel
on
about
this on my
disappointed.
fantasy team. I need to get him going.
Yeah.
Tyler Ennis lately. I mean, he only gets like 7 minutes, but he's been putting up like 10 points.
Yeah, I think he's a good. I think if you throw Michael Carter-Williams off the ball, put Tyler Ennis or Jared Bayless on the ball.
Yeah, is
That's fine.
Bayless coming back?
Yes,
He is back.
came back last night. I think
He's
he had
back, yeah.
19 points last night.
MCW
Yeah,
can't
and yet
shoot.
they lost.
You can't shoot MCW.
Yeah, he's got a broken jumper, and I don't know why.
You got to work on that
You gotta
shot.
fix that.
Like,
You got to work on that shot.
And they need a better bench. I mean, Johnny O'Brien coming off. Come on, he's
He is
trash.
sad. The only
He's the
good thing
worst
he's
Bucks
done
player
is
on our
break
team.
Porzingis'
Yeah,
ankles.
it's the only good thing you've done.
only
sir.
thing I
was
seen him
there.
do in game is hit 15 footers. That's it.
Yeah, that's like.
And then
33
John
of them.
Henson, all he does is block shots.
I do not like John
We need
Henson
J.
complete
Hook.
at
bench
all.
players, folks.
By the
Right.
way, at the Bucks game, they have stats on how many hook shots John Henson has made.
Yeah, he makes 60% of his hook shots. I'm like, why do I care about that?
Why do I care?
That's a good stat.
Seriously, you know what would have been nice for the Bucks if they would have beat the Raptors Saturday, because the Raptors
Yes.
right now are hot.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
they played well for a while. They played a good fourth quarter for once. Usually the third. Oh, they played a good third quarter for once. Sorry, the fourth quarter was bad. And usually
Yeah,
the third
Bucks-
quarter's been
what's
the
with
downfall.
the Bucks in the fourth
Yeah,
quarter?
if you look at the quarter by quarter stats here, folks, the Bucks are scoring decent points in my mind all 3 quarters in the majority of their games.
Yep.
Like in the 20s or 30s. It comes to the fourth quarter, they're scoring like 9, 19,
Just
15,
eggs.
just
Throwing eggs.
Mhm.
done,
Yeah.
gone, down the drain.
Like if you think about it, if we would have had a good fourth quarter, we would have beat Golden State at Golden State.
Oh, easily.
I
we
think
scored
they win-
70 points in the first half of that
If
game.
they play a better second half, I think they win 5 more games.
And they put up like
already.
40 points in the second half. Like, that's a 30-point swing. Like,
Jeez.
They gotta figure themselves out. I think they have potential for sure,
right.
but something's wrong.
I'm a little worried about Jabari. I don't know what he's
Yeah,
going to be.
what?
I don't
What's
know what
going
he's going
on,
to be.
Jabari?
He
don't
can't
know.
shoot a jumper.
I like
He's
Jabari.
playing
When
4
he was
feet
at
off
Duke, the man could nail it like no other.
Yeah,
but
it's looking like all he can do is dunk right now.
Nothing but
Yeah.
nylon.
I still
Hey,
like Jabari, though.
I think
Yeah.
the only one keeping us alive right now is Mr. Giannis.
oh.
Yeah.
He's
And
so
Monroe.
inconsistent, too,
What about
which is-
Monroe?
But I think we should vote for him to get in the All-Star
Yep,
game. I
vote
think he
Giannis.
deserves it.
Vote for Giannis.
Oh, Giannis.
Hashtag Greek.
Hashtag
Freak.
Freak.
What about Monroe?
I like
Moose.
him. Moose.
I like him too.
Is he putting
I
up
like him.
consistent numbers like he should be?
Well, he
Yeah.
came off an injury, I think. He's
Right.
Yeah, he needs to be
MCL
better
or something like that.
defensively. Is what his
Yeah.
problem
The
is
Bucks
right now.
defense as a whole
Oh,
is
God,
needs to be
awful.
better.
easily. they only play good defense against the Warriors, apparently.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's-
you know,
that's the
Carter
only game I
Williams
care about.
didn't play bad defense against Steph Curry.
No.
OJ
not at
Mayo.
all.
OJ Mayo covered Curry.
I think with MCW, if he could shoot, he's honestly the complete player that we need at Milwaukee.
He is.
Yes.
Really?
He did win
Like-
Rookie of the Year.
He has
How? Yeah,
good
I
moves
don't know
off the
how.
dribble.
He did play for the 76ers.
Yeah,
folks.
unfortunately.
Hey, but the 76ers won their second game the other night, folks.
True.
Who did they beat? Who did they beat?
Who did they beat?
I know they beat someone.
Who's the next
All right, I'll quick look.
next saddest team in the NBA?
Who's
other
the
than
sad
the
team?
76ers?
Hey, you know the Bucks beat them, so
They
that's
did.
all that matters. If the Bucks would have
They
lost
did.
the 76ers, I would have given up on this
While
season.
Brady's looking that up, I think we're
they
gonna.
beat the Phoenix Suns, folks.
Oh my
wow.
god!
They're a mess right now.
Bledsoe is injured.
Out for
Though.
the
Oh.
year.
He's out for the year.
Yeah.
He's on my fantasy.
Oh, you better drop that boy.
I just dropped Tyson Chandler too from the Suns. He's garbage.
Hey, now what if he proves you wrong like the hype man over there.
I really hope he doesn't.
I like how we're talking about our fantasy teams when no one else cares.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
folks. You like the
We don't care.
entertainment,
You're
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
You're
you know
listen-
what?
you're
If you're
listening-
listening to this, you
You're
have
listening anyway.
you don't have
Obviously have
anything better
nothing
to
to
do.
do.
All right, you could be outside sledding, or
Shovel
go
snow.
like you could be doing other things, but you're not.
You're not.
You're listening to
You don't
us, okay?
wanna.
All right.
All right, I think for sake of time here, we're going to move on to our short Rookie of the Year discussion between our boy Porzingis and Karl Anthony Towns.
Cat.
Porzingis
Cat.
winner.
Hansen, what do you think? Who do you think should get Rookie of the Year?
Okay. Karl Anthony Towns all the way.
Yeah, I think looking at the stats here, I was looking at him earlier. Karl Anthony Towns definitely the better player. Stats wise, he's got a player efficiency rating. Don't really know what that means, but it's better than Porzingis's.
But when
22.
Porzingis
That means
when the
he's
Knicks
good on
when the Knicks played the
He's good.
Timberwolves, Porzingis shut down Towns.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's one game
It
out
doesn't
of
matter.
82
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
that they're gonna play.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Hey,
Bucks
stats
also
never
beat the
lie,
Bucks
Sky
once.
Jordan.
I don't go by
Porzingis
the
is gonna
stats.
win the Rookie of the Year though, only because of tip dunks. No.
I feel like Porzingis
Latvia.
would win over Towns because he has more hype.
Yes, definitely the Latvian legend.
I think,
Kristaps.
And I think the
Porzingis.
only people that really build up his hype is this
Tough.
podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yep, and New York and Latvia.
Yeah.
I think he might be the second best Rookie of the Year ever, though. I think he's going to win second, and he might be the second best.
Yeah,
Outside of Brandon Jennings' Rookie Year with the Milwaukee Bucks,
Brandon Jennings.
when he dropped that 55-point game.
Oh, just a legend.
Yeah.
Don't remember that.
Yeah. Do,
No, I
do
don't
we
remember
think it
either.
Not
was?
many do.
Hey, do you guys think it was a good idea to get rid of Brandon Knight?
No, I like
Oh,
Brandon Knight.
That's such
But we
the
did
thing-
get Carter Williams.
Right. The problem of trading away Knight was that we traded him away because we didn't think we'd be able to sign him in the offseason. And then
Did money have to do with it?
yes, and then because he would want too much, and then we lost him that way, and then the Bucks thought, well, let's get a Rookie of the Year instead and try out MCW.
Yeah, and
because
folks,
we know Knight's not coming back.
If you don't watch the NBA,
can't
Brandon
shoot.
Knight's just having a good season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a tear.
Yeah. So, I mean, Brandon Jennings it's not looking good for him this
No.
year. So that's not the worst. But another guy that we got rid of was Zaza Pachulia.
No, we need him back.
Yeah.
We need him back. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I think we
Did everyone make the Rookie of the Year predictions?
Oh yeah.
Did we just
I'll
kinda
go with Karl Anthony Towns because he's a UK native, and I like the UK. Hear that, Hoffy? UK
What up,
over
UK?
Dookies.
Dookie's garbage.
Yeah, trash.
Yep.
Hansen, who you got? You said Towns, right?
Towns, yep.
Gone.
Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis. We're
Hey, there we go. We're even there.
We're even. We're
So-
even.
All right, Pod Squad. This is the Pod Fam. And
I think. Hold on. I think it's the other way around.
no.
No, this is the. Yeah.
This is the
Pod
Pod.
fam. This is the Pod Squad.
Yeah, did I say it wrong?
Yeah, you
think
said
so.
it wrong.
Yeah, okay. Well, I always mix it up. Hey, we are not sure about next week's episode. We know we will have one, so you listen. We'll let you know about the details. So
Yep. Follow us on the Twitter page at the NH Pod, and also follow our man Nathan Hansen over here at HandMeTheRock23. You need some followers.
Pod Fam, deactivate.